Hey, hey, hey. Welcome to another episode of Thought Candy. We're in the building. Shout out to the panel. What's up, fellas? How y'all doing?
What's up,
What's
brothers?
going on, gents? What's happening? What's happening? What's happening? Great evening, great evening, great evening.
How
What's
y'all
up?
doing?
What's going on?
Doing fantastic, brother. If I was doing any better, I have to sell it to you.
Hey, I heard that. I totally agree, and I ain't mad at you. Hustler spirit for sure. Welcome to another episode, y'all. We doing it again. You fellas aren't new to the atmosphere, so we're gonna just go ahead and jump right into this thing, man. I hope everybody's having a great weekend. On that Wakanda tip, I went and checked that out today, so I hope y'all do the same if you haven't already. We want to jump right in and let you know out the gate. The goal is to inspire, motivate, educate. This is the Thought Candy Podcast with Mr. Millionaire Mindset and my cohort, my partner in crime. What's your name, bro?
Philly's in the building.
Philly's
Y'all
in
know
the
what's
building.
up. Y'all see the hat? Yes.
You know?
Philly's finest is in the building. Oh,
Got his,
yes.
Got his big head on the mug. We gonna make sure
Did you talk about the mugs? You said nothing about the mugs.
Listen, man.
Yeah. Look,
Hey,
shout out.
Go ahead.
Who we shouting out for the mugs, Sean?
We shouting out old Nick over there at the Lust Podcast. TNR Creations is the site, tnrcreations.com. Go ahead and get your mugs. Get you something personalized.
Yeah.
This is how we doing it right now. We're gonna make sure that we get our peeps squared away too.
Yeah, we're gonna have them up. We're gonna
Thought
have them up
Candy.
on the site this week. This week we're gonna have them up on the site where you guys can purchase them. For those that have been on the podcast for a few times, you definitely guys get some complimentary mugs. From Mr. Millionaire Mindset and myself. So we got you taken care of. A few other guests that's been on here that dined the podcast. They're gonna go ahead and grab some mugs as well. But hey, share, subscribe. Make sure you let folks know what's going on, because all this is done just by us. We don't have any donations and things like that, no sponsors at the time. But look,
not yet.
Yeah, but by all means, go ahead and share the info. Make sure you hit the subscribe button. And hey, you may look in your mailbox and get one of these mugs. That's all I'm saying.
You never
Let's
know.
go, Sean. What we got going on today, bro?
Know.
What's happening?
All right, so check it out. Let's go on and jump into a topic today, y'all. And the topic of the day that I wanted to kind of discuss and just pose a question. How do you handle when someone does or says something wrong? Do you check them and correct them, or let them know that they did wrong? Or do you make an excuse? Oh, that's just so-and-so. That's just how they are. Is anybody chime in?
We talking friends? We talking associates? We talking family?
It don't matter. Whoever. What's your general? It's somebody you know, obviously. You can't talk about anybody you don't know. I'm just saying it could be anybody that you know, friend, family, co-worker, sibling, spouse, whatever, How do you handle that situation? You can take the scenario and place it in whichever of those that you would like, but of course you got to know the person.
So holding people accountable
for their actions or what they say or do.
Do you or don't you hold them accountable? That's pretty much what you're saying, right?
Yeah. Okay. Or do you make excuses for them and say that's just how they are?
I don't do the excuse thing. I'm gonna put it out there out the gate. I think excuses, man, it's a fallback. I think excuses. We heard that whole this whole quote of or saying that excuses are just like assholes. Everybody got one, right? Everybody got. So you can make
opinions, excuses, right?
Right.
Yeah.
So I'm not one for that. So I'm big on holding people accountable, and I want people to hold me accountable. And I know I got to work on myself, but that's why I got good friends that'll sit there and they should be able to check me if I'm doing something wrong. If I'm doing something out of line, yo, they should be pulling my coattail and let me know. No, if I say I was going to do this and I didn't do it, each and every one of them should be pulling my coattail and say, yo, Philly, now you say you was going to do this, you was going to be here that time, and you weren't there. And then if I come with some excuse, oh yeah, we heard that one. Come on, you got, and it's a few of y'all, you know, some a little harder on me than others, but nah, I'm all about accountability, and I'm going to make sure that that person is upheld to what they say they going to do or say. I'm stepping off myself.
All right, Philly, any specific episode where you might have approached someone and you got pushback from them? Like, you know, you went to check them about something that you felt they did wrong and they pushed back. Or
sometimes I can be a little hasty. And I got this from an old friend some years ago. He wanted me to do something and I couldn't do it at the time he wanted me to do it.
Mm-hmm.
And I had to do something else. Actually, somebody on one of the guests right now, I had to do something for. It was very important. So I had to put that off and I handled my business because that was my friend. And he came at me and said, I told you to do this and told, you know, he's kind of abrasive how he's coming at me. I said, no, I know what I said, man, but you yelling at me like that is not called for. There was something more important that I had to handle opposed to what he wanted me to do. So I had to make that choice. And I had to hold myself accountable. I said, yo, yeah, I should have called you, but it was too important for me to even sit there and call you because he needed me like right then and there. And he calmed down and said, okay, all right, I understand. A lot of times, Sean, we jump to conclusions when it comes to holding people accountable because we expect a person to do something, to say something, and they may not do it when you want them to do it. And you kind of pounce on them right quick and you don't know the whole situation. So sometimes we can be out of line because we want what we want when we want it.
That's a two-way street though, because here's what I feel. I feel like the cloth that I would say most brothers that I know and deal with are cut from is I'm a only go by what you tell me. Whatever you say is what I feel like you should do. And if at any point the plan changes, communication is key. 2 seconds, quick plan change. I'm gonna have to holler at you later. I'm not gonna be able to do that, whatever, right? I don't think the excuse of, you know, I had to jump on something right away and it's not good enough if somebody's expecting something from you. You just kind of push them to the side and say it was something more important. I couldn't even tell you that it was something more important, but right. I'm gonna have to get with you later. So I say on one end, you could jump the gun as the person that's saying, why didn't you do what you said you were going to do? But on the other hand, I think that person would create or appreciate, communication of saying that the plans change. You know, I know this is what you expected me to do, or you expected me to pull up or whatever. And I didn't, or I couldn't because an emergency came up, and you ain't got to tell them why and who, but you just got rerouted another way rather than silence. And then you don't hear nothing for a day or two. Oh yeah. And you're like, last time I talked to you, bro or sis, this is what you told me, you know what I mean? So when the plans change, we have to be communicative and say, you know, this is what happened. So
you're right about that.
You got to take the bad on that and say, you know, something more important came up, but I told you that. I didn't just, you know, let you wonder and think whatever was supposed to happen was going to happen. And that person might have put their schedule aside with the fam or whoever and said, right, okay, I'm gonna allot this time because so-and-so told me they was gonna do X, Y, Z, and it didn't happen, you know? So you gotta take people's time into consideration. And, you know, when they are told something, that's what they expect. They don't know no different unless you tell them. That's
right,
all.
exactly. No, communication is big. Yeah, y'all can chime in. I don't know, Will was good. You ever had that, that problem when it comes, and not just with your friends, like Sean said. What about your family? What about
Well, I've heard it years ago. I heard a person say, an excuse is the skin of a lie stuffed with a reason. See, we can make excuses, and then we'll just justify it by coming up with something.
Hold on, I gotta write that.
And just stuff that in there and say, hey, this might work. But if it's a friend or no friend, it reminds me of that show, what's his name? Quinones, and he say, what would you do? And it's like, hey, you see somebody doing something like your friend, he dip out on you on something like an agreement you guys had. And I agree with Sean. It's all about communication. See, I could live with the fact that you couldn't do what you said you were going to do, but I need communication, and it would be nice.
Let me know.
Yeah, let me know. It would be kind of nice if you could give me a little bit of leeway. Because say if I'm going to meet you someplace and I don't hop in my ride, I'm around the corner. I'm like right there. And you just let me know, hey man, I'm not gonna be able to make it. I'm like, man, dude, you had to know what you were gonna do at least an hour.
Maybe not.
Yeah, maybe not. Yeah.
It came on a whim. In the process of you coming, hey man, the wifey just called me, man. She got a flat tire. I gotta go out there, man, and get her.
Communication.
That's all. I just got the call.
And then you have to think about also who you're dealing with, that person's character, and have they done this type of thing in the past? Have they been accountable? Do they have a track record of that?
Right. That's key.
You see what I'm saying?
If it's happened several times.
Yeah, many times you leave just a little residue. You don't get that way overnight, right?
Hey, I need you to repeat that one more time for the people so they can hear that. Excuse is a lie disguised with a reason. What you say?
I'll say the excuse is the lie, is the skin of a lie stuffed with a reason.
I wrote that down.
Yeah,
because
think about that. That's why I don't deal in excuses.
People justify, attempt to justify different things. I'm not saying that everybody do that, but the thing is, we don't want to be looked at a certain kind of way. So we say, man, I gotta tell him something. I can't just, So you feel some kind of way about it, especially if this person is counting on you. I really need you, bro. I need you for this one. Okay.
Hey, how many times do we hear that as business professionals, network marketers, where people make excuses and they'll give you a lie? Oh, man.
We all do it. We've all done it. Hold on, raise it. Hold on, by show of hands.
What are we showing our hand for?
How many people? By show of hands, you just gotta raise your hand. By show of hands, how many people? And all y'all out there looking too, and I guarantee it's 100% called in sick, and there wasn't shit wrong with you. Look at you. Get your hand up, James.
He got both of them up. You just can't see it.
He got a hand up.
See James. I don't even see James. Where's James?
I see. So each and every one of us.
It's happened in life. Yeah, no doubt.
Thank you.
I don't see it.
No doubt.
That's an excuse.
No doubt.
That's that thin line wrapped around what you say, Will.
A skin of a lie.
Skin of a lie.
Stuff
with a reason.
So that's
Mr.
what we
James,
do.
man, what you got to say? I see you kind of quiet and pontificating on a exasperating response.
He said, what did he say? Pontificating?
Pontificating on an exasperating response.
That's some pimpology right there, ain't it?
Well, that's part of the education.
You gotta unmute yourself, Jay. Unmute yourself, brother. Unmute yourself.
He said, I heard you, Sean. I pretty much agree with what Sean said, and I'm gonna add to it. Well, I agree with all of you guys, but he put it in a good perspective way if you look at it. We started off by saying that the point is when somebody wrong, when they know they wrong, not just excuses, but when they wrong, this was the topic. when they wrong, out of character, out of line, and they know it, and you know it? Are you the kind of person that, oh, that's okay, justify it by saying, that's just how they are, even in a crowd? Or are you the kind of person that say, hey, you know what? We cool and we should have a mutual understanding. And you out of line, you wrong. You know what I mean? This is not the place for that. Because if you don't stand up and hold him accountable and he don't hold you accountable, then Dub didn't say this, but this is what I'm sorry. Sean didn't say this, but this is what I'm adding into it. Then there's no accountability. There's just foolishness. So the only thing that separates foolish from good common sense is making a good decision. And again, my answer to this is, first of all, you got to have a mutual respect and understanding. Like, let's say if I was to use Sean and myself, we have a mutual understanding. If the brother sees me doing wrong, he know how to come to me and tell me that I'm doing wrong. That's accountability. In the same response, the way he come to me, I can't be all up in my feelings and skin. Got to recognize who he is, what he's saying to me.
Come on.
Okay? Just like y'all said, if the person got, like Will said, if the person got a certain, because I talk, but I love to listen. That's how you learn. Will said, if the person got a certain mystique about them, that they do this often, that's an accountability too. Well, what if the person you know who they is, like I know who Mr. Sean Slaughter is. I know the character, I know the man. When he come to me and he give me his word, that's all I have. That's good enough for me to go on. So if he come to me and check me, I should be man enough, even if I'm foolish in my feelings, to appreciate him coming to check me before, because evidently I'm not checking myself before something, let's say, drastically embarrassing happens or very disrespectful in those tones, in those ways.
Yeah.
That
There's a
same
certain
guy
level
though,
of
that same
integrity.
guy that we said that you say, hey, he got a history of this.
Right.
Is that the guy that you brush off and say, oh man, that's him. He do that all the time.
No,
You know?
no. So let me say this
I mean,
again.
do you hold him accountable? Because, you know,
Yeah.
first of all, if he has that type of history, pedigree or whatever,
Right.
I might not even call on that person to do this task, or what I'll say, you know what, maybe I'll pick somebody else.
Right
Because you
there.
know what you're dealing with coming in on this deal.
Right. But Mr. Will, let's say you have a get together and I'm the fool, and you invite Earl, you invite Sean, and you said, James, I'm gonna let you come this time, but don't be foolish. Now you give me forewarning. Now, if I come there and I just be foolish, you got every right to check me instead of saying that's just the way he is, because you knew that, but you did at least give me some warning. You know what I mean? You got family over there. You got relatives from out of town. That's just respect. Look, we all grown. You got to know how to act, even a fool.
Absolutely.
And I say this and I'll stop. The Bible says, even a fool is counted wise when he know how to hold his peace.
Yeah, that's deep. That's deep.
That's deep. Well, you know, in some cultures, there's an age of accountability. I don't know, maybe what's the age of accountability? 15, 12,
15,
you know?
12.
At 12, it's
You're
12.
right. I guess it goes by the particular task. It may go by the particular task of what you're expecting of that person. Example, let's just say James is having a barbecue. And he says, hey, man, I'm having barbecue, fella. Everybody come over. Yo, I got the steaks, man. La, la, la. You coming through? I say, yeah, I'm coming through, man. I'm bringing one. He like, bet. So now he already know he got 2 steaks he need to buy. Once he counted everything up, all right, man, he got 15 steaks he buying. Earl, Philly, all I need you to do, bro, is bring the ice. Bring the ice in a 6-pack. A 6-pack of a Coke or a 12-pack of Coke. I need that from you. You gonna be there with that? I'm like, yeah, I got you. Something come up. Now he's expecting me to bring the ice and to bring the 12-pack. He's expecting me, right? I don't show up. I'll call half an hour before, or the day before. Day before I call, yeah, man, I ain't gonna be able to make it, la, la, la. Cool, I got you, I appreciate that. He gonna go ahead and make sure he gets the ice and the Coke from someone else. He got to get himself. But if I don't show up at all, from which what Mr. Millionaire Mindset is saying, I don't show up at all, he got an issue now. Now, the question is, does he have a right to sit there and call me on it the next time he see me? Does he have a right to sit there and say, man, dude,
Yes.
he was out of line? I mean, because of our friendship, is he close enough to sit there and have that conversation? Or as just an association we have together, can he still sit there and have that conversation? Yes or no?
Absolutely.
You know what? Say it again, Sean. Go ahead. Go touch that.
Now I was gonna say it's gonna go one of two ways.
Go ahead.
Either I'm gonna speak my piece and let you know that wasn't cool that you said that you were gonna come through, and if something came up, you could have called, so I knew to go out. At some point, it'll be clearly obvious of what you need to do when that person doesn't show up. But either we're gonna have that conversation, or invites are no longer.
There
Right.
you go.
You know what
There
I'm
you
saying?
go.
It's going one
That
of two
part.
ways.
Right.
That part.
And look at it like this. Whether it's, and I think you all will agree, whether it's an acquaintance or not, we don't want to build that kind of character, like Mr. Will was saying, where your rapport with us is that you don't keep your word. I mean, like Mr. Slaughter said, sometimes that's all you have in this world, and that's enough.
That's all you got, your word.
But you stand by it, though. You stand by it, because a person will respect you when you your word, like Will said, then you wear that skin of a lie.
Yeah, well, you can say what you're gonna do all day, but your actions speak volumes.
Yes, sir.
Right?
Yes,
Yeah,
sir.
Or
we
lack
can-
thereof.
Yeah, we can pop
lack
off
thereof.
all day, but it's all about your actions at the end of the day that speak way louder than what you said. Mr. Sir,
There's a situation that happened, and I'm sure Philly could remember this particular day. I was helping them. I was helping them move. I was helping them get some things together. We had the U-Haul and everything, and I was invited to a very good friend of mine's birthday party. And I know how much they put into their parties. I mean, the decoration, everything. I've known this person for over 30 years. And I said I was going to come through. Well, it took a little longer and all that. I'm looking at the clock. And I don't know if you recall this, Philly. I said, man, I got to go to this party, man. I got to go, man.
I remember.
Like, not show. I can't not show. Man, I hit the freeway burning it up. Didn't have a gift. Ran by the store, bought a gift in a card. Ran over there. I didn't dress up, but I kind of threw on a shirt, just kind of making the show, and got there a little late. Oh, about time you get here. Well, I'm telling you, in my heart, I knew that I could not miss that party because of our relationship over the years. And that's a case where you stand by your words, your integrity. Now, I could have said, I'm tired, or it's getting late. I didn't have time. And I knew that this individual was not going to take that for an answer unless there was something real drastic. I mean, like hospitalization or something.
yeah,
They weren't going to buy it because I missed their Christmas party the year before.
yeah.
I couldn't
You could quickly be uninvited to any future activities,
Exactly.
Absolutely.
With
And
that,
not
with
only
that.
that, it was the friendship also.
Yeah.
That really, I would have been hurt if I couldn't.
I don't know if somebody would unfriend you per se, but they're gonna be kind of salty. They're gonna have rocks in their jaws. Now, what I wanted to ask too was a lot of times it might be an age difference thing too. Let's say you're the elder person and it's someone from the younger generation, because it's not always a peer-to-peer type of situation. I don't care if it's your niece or nephew, your son or daughter, one of your little, godsons or somebody's child that you find out in the street with their pants hanging down their butt or something, are you checking the situation? And it's sometimes not an equal playing field as far as age group. Do we agree?
Right.
Yeah. As a matter of fact, I had an incident like that where most of you guys know I have a daughter, and she's grown now. And when we interact now, and I thought that I had this conversation with her because she's a different generation than me. Hey, I know you're grown now, but I'm still your father. So let's do this. I'm gonna respect you being grown now. Adjustment for me. You hear me? I'm telling her this. And for you, you kind of, you're gonna be grown, but watch how you kind of, come at me or present yourself to me, because sometimes you forget I'm your father. So the incident real quickly happened where she asked me to help keep an eye on my grandbaby, her daughter. So I'm like, no problem. So I'm sitting in the car watching her while she go into like a dentist appointment when I'm trying to speed it up. Bottom line, well, baby's cool, all that. Then she started crying. So I looked to give her a snack like I know that I've seen mama do. And unknowingly, when mama comes back, because it was raining that day, she goes off. Like, oh, damn, what are you doing? Why are you giving her that? That damn food no good. I'm like, what do you mean? You giving her that freaking this food, and you can't even spoil. It was, what was it? It was a snack, but it had spoil, I guess. And she said, that's why I can't leave. I remember most of the things, but that's why I can't leave her with you. You're irresponsible, this, that. And I was like, okay. And I know,
What?
yeah, hold on. And I noticed Will and Mr. Slaughter while she was on the phone with someone else. So it really made me upset. But let me talk to y'all real, all y'all as fathers. I still realized that I gotta come to her, but not like I know how my generation is. I still want to try to come on a equal level. I'm trying. So what I did was I said, hey, you know what? First of all, was you on the phone with somebody when you was talking to me like that? Yeah, my girlfriend. But I'm like, and what did she say? She said, you know what? You ought not talk to your dad like that. I said, well, you know what? When you hang up, I want to talk to you, young. I said, you know what? She right. I'm gonna check you on one thing. This is your daughter. This is all I could think of, other than go off like we used to in the old days. This is your, and I respect how you want me to feed her or raise her, or whatever. I'll do as you say, because this is yours. You also remember talking to her. I'm your daddy. And besides, what's going on for me anyway about a in your, I'm irresponsible. Why you have it in your car next to your baby? You know the data wrong. And so we pretty much kind of left it at that, where she understood where she might have been wrong, I might have been wrong. But my point is, I had to check her on that. And then I had to think about something that you said, Mr. Slaughter. Since the generation is different, how am I going to check her on that? Because I know how these are different. But I'm not going to just, even though this generation is different, I can humble myself, but only so much. Only you're going to meet me wait me at all. You can write that one down.
You're going to get a foot in the ass.
Absolutely. Hey,
whoa, slow down, Jay.
Philly, I saw you shaking your head.
You were saying something about the age. You were talking about the age barrier. If you say you was going to be there, I don't care if it's for a 4-year-old's godson's birthday party. It was just his birthday. You say you're supposed to be there. You're going to be there because it's not about him. What about the parents? What about the other folks who was going to expect you to be there because they said Sean's popping up?
Yeah.
Right now, I said I was going to see my daughter. I said, baby girl, I'm going to come through there. We're going to talk about some stuff. So apparently she just texted me, Dad, where you at? True, right now. That's what I'm doing my podcast right now, baby girl. I said, you can jump on if you want. She said, right. Real talk. I show you the text. She's like, how am I going to do that? I cook chicken wings for you, which is one of my favorite meals, and you ain't here.
Case in point, right?
Thank you.
If you say you're going to do something and the plans change.
So after the podcast, I got to go.
Yeah.
See my daughter.
Communication.
Because I said I was going to do that earlier today, right?
Mm-hmm.
Am I right? Right is right. So she's holding me accountable. And my kids hold me accountable kind of rough. They rough on me.
Well, we say all the time is something you can't get back. People set aside that time for you to do whatever it is. They just took time out of their life to do that.
I like that.
Yeah. If it's that type of scenario, y'all, where it's you saying that you're gonna be somewhere, it's you saying that you're gonna show up or call someone at a certain time, and that time comes and goes, looking like I know damn well they know what time it is, and that it was supposed to go down, and this time then came and went, and you start running things through your mind. Maybe something came up, maybe it was emergency, maybe what, but when it all boils down to it, it's got to be a certain level of respect, not only for that relationship, but that person's time, what you told them you were going to do, and how you feel you should look in their eyes, if you don't do what you say you're going to do. I'm real big on that. If I say I'm going to do something, it's going to come hell or high water, that something's going to cancel that or change it. But if it does, I'm going to give that person the respect to say, hey, plan change. I'm so sorry, but this is what's going on. And let's circle back around to that. Let me get a rain check on it or something. But when you just don't do anything, like, what does that say? Character is big. Integrity is big. What you say you're going to do, especially when it comes to people that hold you in high regard and look up to you, or have a certain amount of respect for you, even if you're on an even playing field, regardless where it's at and where you guys stand.
They'll say, well,
that's big, that's huge.
Right. They'll say that person's not like that. But Philly says it all the time. He said, well, that's disrespectful, man. He says disrespect.
One of his favorite words, huh?
He says it all the time.
Yeah.
And I could hear in my ear right now, well, that's disrespect. He said he was gonna do that. I saw a movie once, gangster movie. The dude said, man say he gonna be here, he should be here. And these guys are, how they are. But I'm just saying, it's total disrespect, Sean, just like you said. It could carry over into other things, trust, you really trust that person. And then now, if you start looking at who you're going to have in your circle, if you're in a battle, who you going to have, who you going to be in the foxhole with? You're going to be in the foxhole with this guy? He may be a part of the friendly fire, whatever. So you begin to look at your circle and basically start changing your circle. Hey, look, maybe we should bring him in on this because he's not dependable.
You're getting excommunicated. Has anybody ever lost a friend or family member as far as the time that you spend or invest into them because of something like that, where you just had to kind of push them to the side?
Of course. I mean, listen, right and wrong, we all must understand this, and whether we like it or not, right or wrong, good and evil, really doesn't have a gender or a color or a preference. If someone does you inappropriate or wrong, it can be your family member or a total stranger. They're wrong. Because if you reverse that and say, well, somebody did me right, it was my family, they supposed to do that. What about total stranger? They don't have to, but you got done right. So I'm saying, we're talking about respect. We're talking about keeping your word. What I don't hear anybody saying is, first of all, let's say you invite me to do something. You ask me to do something. You don't even get anything about if my commitment is going to be until I say, okay, I'm coming. Yeah, I'll be there. I got you. Don't worry about it. I'll fit it in my schedule. Now, again, I'm hearing everybody. Things happen. Let's say if something come up, like you said, let them know right away. if you're gonna be late, call them and tell them you're running late. See,
Mhm.
you don't show the accountability that you gave them. I'll be there. I'm gonna do that. They're only going off what you said. So it's like you get mad. I'm like, they should understand. I'm his boy. No, wait a minute. I'm going off what you said. I told you what time. I told you I'm gonna save a spot for you. I got food for you. All that. If you wasn't gonna make it, if something happened, I'm also your boy. Let me know. But please, if I'm you, don't let me know after the fact. And like y'all said, don't make up no excuse. Okay? Because I don't have to invite you, but I can keep it going, just like you can.
Right,
Right.
absolutely. Somebody else could have filled that spot. I mean, you
And I
know,
would that you
whatever.
you
Yeah,
know, yeah, no.
it's just one of them situations, and I can't stand by and watch somebody mistreat somebody else
Me neither.
and act like that's cool and it's okay.
Me,
You have to have enough integrity and stance on your own to be able to check that situation and not let it slide, because basically you participated in that activity. If you don't say anything, y'all might as well have ganged up on that person. If you sit back and watch something happen and you don't check that person and say, ooh, that was foul. The way you was talking to your girl, man, that's crazy as hell. Like, I would never in public,
Right.
like, pull her to the side, go to the crib and, do what you got to do. Behind closed doors, I can't
Right.
check you on nothing. That's your house that you doing, but you out in public acting an ass, and you done called this girl every name up under the sun or whatever the case may be. And this is you making us look bad as a people. What Kevin Hart say about it, you making us look bad as a family
Mhm.
right now,
Exactly. See if
Yeah,
what's name trying
you
to
gotta
chime. I
check
didn't mean to
that.
cut you off.
Yeah,
I
go
didn't
ahead.
know if Will was trying to chime back in.
We lost
Sean.
him. I don't see nothing's
You don't see
pending
him?
right now.
Okay, all right.
Yeah, I'm watching out.
All right, got you. Yeah, he just texted me. Oh, he
Okay.
was calling me. I just sent him the link. Yo, what up, Will? Yeah, he seems like he just hit me up, but hey, it's all good. We're just
Yeah.
about to wrap up though.
Right. This isn't one to go on and on and on about. We've kind of laid it on the line to say there's different scenarios, there's different age groups. There's a certain expectation. It's all about integrity. It's all about being about your word. I mean, there could be some differences in age group, and it might be a teaching or coaching moment for that person that doesn't know any better. And then on another hand, it might be somebody that just shows their ass all the time. And
Right.
you got to figure out, are you going to act right, or do you need the cutoff switch?
exactly.
Straight up.
Not the cutoff switch. Hold on. Hold on.
Just
don't
like
give him that.
lights
Don't
out. Okay.
Don't give lights out.
Put the cutoff switch.
I just want,
cutoff switch.
hey, I just want to say that if you do that cutoff switch, it should not be limited to who they are. It doesn't matter.
Absolutely agree. Anybody can get it.
Right. And if they can do it to me, I don't have to let them do it to me.
And well, can I say this? I didn't mean to cut you off, James, but we're not talking about completely cut off. We're just talking about that cut off when it comes to certain things that one may have going on. You may be asking them to do, or invites or something, not them as family members cutting off, or friends cutting off. Is
you might still have love for them, but they just can't come through like that.
Yeah, there you go. Exactly.
When Sean said you won't be invited that much, he didn't mean he hate the person. He's not gonna stop speaking to him. He didn't mean none of that. Just that he can't take you at your word face value, so he ain't gonna put himself in that commitment and get disappointed. That's all he's saying.
I like that.
Because one thing we failed to mention is that people come at you and say stuff about that situation. And if they don't feel you handled it accordingly, hey, what's up with your boy? Your boy was acting an ass. Your girl was drunk off her, you know what I'm saying? And
inappropriate.
You didn't check that? You didn't check her? Like, how does that make you look? You guilty by association.
And listen to what Sean keeps saying. They say, yo, boy. Like, you know what I mean? Like, If you ain't gonna check him, who is? Because if I check him, wrong, but you should have a right to check him, and he should have the respect to receive it.
Right.
John,
everybody's not there. Everybody's not there. I'm only there with a few people. And a few people is just right here. That's real talk. I'm only there with a few people because a few people won't sit there and give you the real. They won't give you the low down dirty on yourself.
Okay,
they won't.
But let me give you this. You're right. But let's stay right here so we don't get too off sidetrack. I like something else that Mr. Slaughter said when he said the different generational gap. All right, we're the bigger person, the older person, let's say the more responsible. We should always set up a dialogue of having two things: mutual respect, mutual communication. So therefore, there's always a level of understanding with a person. If I know I'm gonna come around Sean and his family, you and your family, you and your friend, I don't care who I am, how I am. I don't care who I am, how I am. If I come around y'all present yourself a certain way. You allow me in that circle. I'm sorry, man. Excuses are like what? Then okay, then I know how to conduct myself. If I don't, I know what to expect from Sean and you because y'all not that dude. Like you said, it's your fam, that's your circle. That's got to be worth something. And it doesn't matter if you old or you young. If I when I go to my daughter's house, Sean, I don't know if you got grown kids. I'm gonna make this quick and I'm done. Earl and I got a grown kid. They got their own place. If we go to their house, don't we give them their respect in their house? Yes, period. I'm saying period. Even if we don't agree, period. So why can't we get that back? That's all I'm saying. Mutual respect. And I like what Mr. Slaughter said, or a couple of you guys, mutual communication. If I know the kind of person you are, then I want to be around that kind of person. And I respect who you are. If I know I can't kick it with you like that, I'm probably gonna separate myself anyway. But let's say I don't. The subject that we have is, do you have a right to check the person, and will you do it or let them go on? No, I'm gonna check you. You ain't gonna look. If you want to look bad, by all means. If you want to make me look bad, oh, I got something to say on that one, partner.
Oh yeah, I got a whole problem with that.
Oh, just a little bit.
A whole problem. Not a smidgen of a problem. I got a whole problem with that.
I hear you. I hear you. Look, but he was saying something. I like what the guest said, Sean. You know what Mr. Will Sturb said was profound about the whole what an excuse is. And James just took us back to what we've heard before, that I don't got a whole lot, and I don't got a whole lot in this world. You know, men usually say it, but my
balls, I got my word.
Hey, thank you. And I'm not right, and I'm not gonna break them for nobody. So your word. So I like what you said on that. I think that's a perfect segue into wrapping this thing up, man. I think they said it perfect.
Word is bond. Word is bond.
There you go. Now it's the word is bond. See, there you now. It's three of y'all that got perfect quotes, and y'all leave me out. Damn, why'd you have to say that? You're right though. That's it. Your word is your bond. That's New York. I remember that back in 1986, 87. You remember, Jay? We in the military.
Shout out to the East Coast boys. Yeah.
Shout out to my man JD's. Shout out to my man Rakim, the God MC.
Shout out to my man Just Dice and BDP. KRS.
Exactly. But no, that's what it was. That was the word. Your word is bond.
Yeah.
So
and hold on. I got one more because I know I'm a little old compared to what some people say, but the two cats on this pod know what I'm talking about. And a shout out to the West Coast, my brother Parrish and Def Jeff. I said Paris from LA. Yeah,
there we go.
Yes, sir.
Yeah,
yes, sir. Yes,
Black
sir.
Panther joint.
Yes, sir, for sure. Yo, we can go in and wrap it up, Sean, on that. At the end of the day, I think you nailed it. Your word is your bond.
Your word is your bond, man. That's all we got in this world. And as men, I can't speak for women because I'm not a woman, but as men, when you tell us that you're going to do something, that's what we expect at the end of the day. We want you to mean what you say what you mean. You can pop off at the gums all day, but action speaks louder than words. And when you put the action to those words that you say, you get a lot of respect. When people know that you're trustworthy and accountable and that you're going to show up, that you're loyal, we're going to have to talk about loyalty too. But, you know, it goes a long way. It creates and builds character, you know, and that's what it's all about. You can't be caught up in what people think about you, but they're going to judge you based on your character and what they see. Is this person someone of integrity? Is this person a flake? You know, is this person, you know, known to pop off at any given time, and I don't know what they're gonna do, you know? It cuts you off from being included in things. And a lot of times you want to be the victim and say that somebody thinks they're better than you, but you got to learn how to conduct yourself.
There it is.
Right?
Yeah.
All right. So we appreciate y'all tuning in on this episode. This is another Thought Candy podcast with your boy, Mr. Millionaire Mindset, and my man, Philly. We had our guest pop in, Brother James. And what you flying over there, man? Because all I'm talking about is
I'm on that Cadbury. I'm on my London deal. Yeah. Oh, come on, James.
James from Carlisle.
He's drinking that cheap liquor.
Yeah.
Right.
Thought candy.
Hit him with the Hershey's. Yeah.
I got something special in the cup, but I can't talk about it because they ain't sponsored yet. They're gonna sponsor it soon though. Y'all have a good one. Appreciate the subject matter. Hey, until next Monday, we'll see you guys. We may see you live. Is that right, Mr.
Drinking, always.
Let's work on that.
Always get some good thinking from no matter what you're drinking, always get some good thinking from the Thought Candy.
Yes, sir.
We love that cheap plug, brother. We love that cheap plug. We'll take it all day, every day.
You do.
Appreciate you. I'm out, guys. You guys have a good one.
One love.